Purpose meets performance. Please welcome to the stage Rajesh Garg, the Group CFO and Chief Sustainability Officer from the Landmark Group, with his keynote speech, Scaling Saudi Fashion and the Purpose of Profit. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for our next speaker.
I'm very honored to be here, but more importantly, I feel that it's important that we all learn about our impact on the planet, especially the brands that we make, we sell, and the retail environment that many of you who provide an environment to all of us to sell our brands. Unfortunately, it's going to be a bit, dramatic. You will feel not so happy, but then we will come back on how we solve this problem and not have our heads down in the sand. For those of you who don't know, hope perhaps everybody knows us, looks like, Landmark Group has 587 stores across Saudi, almost 9 million square feet of area, and you can see our brands in fashion and home, so pretty well covered. So what I've called this is state of sustainability, right? So it is in a way an SOS call for all of you as brand owners, as consumers, and as retailers, mall owners, to help the planet survive and while consuming our products and enjoying our brands. The most dramatic thing for many of us was when we found out that it's not just about the cars and the ships and the planes, actually, and of course the food, but fashion is amongst the top 5 most polluting industries. And that's something that we don't seem to notice. But let me give you some more facts. So 120 billion garments are made every year, and 30% of them are only worn once. May I ask the gentlemen who are talking in the front, sir, could we ask you to either sit down or... Thank you. What's staggering is 1 truckload of textiles goes in landfill every second. Every single second. And that's about to go to 3 truckloads. Now, this is a global number, thankfully not just a Saudi number. Only 1% or less is recycled. We have a lot of these plastic bottles on your table. Gradually, we are seeing a lot of places, they do put glass bottles and not disposable bottles, and hope one sees that transition of all disposable plastics. But what's shocking is that the clothes we wear, when we wash them, the microplastics that go into the sewage and then back into the sea, a staggering 50 billion bottles of plastic is going in every year because of fashion into the sea. 50 billion. So for 8 billion people, right, imagine almost 8 bottles, 7 bottles per person worth of microplastics is going in just because we are washing our clothes. So next time you put that barely used jeans back in the washing, think about it. The amount of oil, so actually there was this picture which you see, not as dramatic, it's actually fashion is oil. So we are all wearing oil. And annually 342 million barrels of oil are used by the industry, which is about 100 days of UAE's production. You all know UAE, like Saudi, is one of the largest oil producers. We all wear shoes. 24 billion are made every year for the 8-9 billion people. US alone throws 300 million pairs every year. UAE, I don't have the figure for Saudis, 25 million pairs are thrown. Fast furniture, the most staggering is the middle statistic. The amount of furniture that we throw in waste, if we were to pile it up, you can go to the moon and come back twice. And this has all happened in the last decade, yeah? Because earlier people were a lot more into, maybe 2 decades. In our lifetimes, we're going to decimate the equivalent of the Amazon forest purely from fast furniture. So clearly there is an insatiable thirst of fashion, right? For each t-shirt, 3,000 liters of water. For each pair of jeans, 8,000 liters of water. So it's the water need of a person for 14 years is what goes in the making of and the life cycle of one jeans and one t-shirt. And look how easily we just toss it away or buy another one. And then what happens when you throw them away? A cotton garment takes a few weeks to a few months. Denims, a year. Shoes, 25 to 80 years. Polyester, 20 to 200 years. And the spandex we all have in all our clothes has never decomposed yet. So we don't know how long it will take, how long it will remain with us. So yes, a few, and then the KSA landscape. Some good news, the KSA government and the regulators are noticing, of course, they are a fast-growing market, but there is a lot of upcoming national regulations. By 2040, Saudi wants to target 90% of waste diversion from landfills by recycling, composting, waste to energy. The amazing experiment, we did a part of it earlier last year, was the Irham circularity. They aim to put 100,000 tons of Irhams back into recycling, and that would be 600 million tons of CO2 savings. So a lot of things happening, extended producer responsibility, material recovery, all those are going to become kind of part of the way our industry exists. So I think it's a great opportunity for recycling and circularity in Saudi. Consumers there's already data that about people are ready, who care for it, they're ready to pay about a 10% premium. Almost half of them are starting to think they want to buy sustainable clothes, right, or sustainable products. So let's talk quickly. So I think that was the problem statement. I think we are in a capitalist world. We're all not going to stop buying clothes or making clothes or selling clothes. So how do we do it? And that's what I'll just share with you what Landmark is doing. And so we have a sustainability framework. As you see here, it's holistic. It's 360 degrees. Starts with sustainable products on the left, top left, goes to sustainable operations, and then goes to sustainable customer journeys as to how customers, what do they do with our product. We have mapped pretty much all up 15,000 product types across the life cycle. What is the impact? Where is the emissions happening? Because you can't manage what you can't measure. And interestingly, scope 3 is about 85% of our footprint. Most companies you hear are still struggling to just tackle scope 1 and 2, which is basically what happens in their own operations. But reality is it's all upstream or downstream. It's all what happens in the making of the product, and then what do your customers do with the product after they've used them. We are happy that we got KPMG to audit our entire footprint of this diverse set of brands, products, including scope 3, which is not heard of this region for sure, but even globally. And we are very happy because we feel that gives us tremendous insights to attack. And how do we attack? I'll just share a video in a second. But before that, we've got all the data, very granular, by brand, by country, by SKU, by product type, and it's allowing us to really attack and measure. So each brand has their dashboards. We also give project management. We are using AI. I'm not going into the details in the interest of time. And then we have our own roadmap of reducing, going hopefully carbon neutral between 2040 and 2050. The reason it's a range, because when companies put out a single year, or I think they are uninformed, because we can't do it alone. If the country we are in, let's say Saudi or UAE, doesn't convert all their energy to renewables, we won't be able to go completely carbon neutral. So it'll depend on all the ecosystem, but whatever we can do, we believe we are on a path already to go carbon neutral. So I'm going to share a very short video because this will give you a good glimpse of what it takes to take a large company like us to be sustainable. It's not just the bottles on your on your tables that is going to solve it. But here is a very short 3-minute video. Can you run the video? Hi, can you? As you can see, it's an all-rounded effort. That's why I wanted to show you this video. It's an internal video. It's a lot of effort, a lot of things across, initiatives across the entire supply chain. It's not about one thing. This was a caricature which captured when we all got together and we kind of decided on what all we will do across the entire value chain of our company, from products, operations, customers, and it has been fantastic to see how all our leaders and hopefully in time customers are also going to respond. So as you chart your journeys, look wide, look beyond, see the total impact. Don't get, narrowly looking at only your own office or your own operations. Think of the entire ecosystem and your impact on it. Thank you very much. Yes, question from Amitabh ji. Why? Okay, it's
Why
a good
is
question.
CFO
I
handling?
do get asked this, that why is the CFO, because I'm the CFO as well. Actually, it's quite simple. And there are a few other companies where you see this, and one is it's all about unbiased number reporting, right? And we do that anyway for a day job. You don't want people who are into the product side, marketing, supply chain, to report numbers, and kind of you can end up with greenwashing. And you see a lot of companies without knowing the real impact. So we act as the unbiased source of information, whether it's for internal or external. The other is, other than the CEO, finance is kind of everywhere, right? So we have people, my team members span the entire company. So it's easier to connect the dots. And finally, it is an expensive transition. So we have to find ways to fund it. So those are the three kind of reasons which we feel helps a CFO do this job as well.